What's up YouTube, Kevin Wolford 123. Today's video is a pickup which I've had for a while, but I haven't actually made the video about it because I've had problems with it, but the problems are nothing to do with it, it's the problems to do with me. So this is a Usbgdrom drive for the Sega Dreamcast, which allows you to use your USB thumbsticks, your USB hard drives, you know, the desktop hard drives on the Sega Dreamcast. You can just fill it with all your games, every game ever made you want, and just select it from a list and play it, and it's, you know, it runs faster and smoother. But anyway, I'm going to go over to a little video showing you the basics about it. Okay, so this is the Usbgdrom. Well, it's in the console, you can't really see it, but I'm going to pop it open and you can just about see the board inside there with a USB header. Hopefully this is focusing okay. The way it works is actually I can show you on the Dreamcast that caused me issues. Basically, you unscrew the drive, and then if I can pop it off with one hand, you remove the shell, basically the metal shell, and the board out the bottom. Then you put the board into the metal shell and then screw that onto the dog's going mental. Every time I make a video, you screw it into the board, and a connector just connects to that. And what an optional thing to do is, as you can see, there's this little switch here. You solder it, I don't know if you can see it, well, you won't be able to see it, but you solder that onto the board so that when you press eject, it recognises it and you can do disc swaps and things like that and play, you know, with cheat discs. But the way it works is you install it, add your ROMs to the hard drive on a special file system. Well, not file system, it's FAT32 64-bit clusters, I think it's called, 64K clusters or whatever it is. You stick them on like that, and then you plug it in, and it should work. Now the problem I had is I was using this Dreamcast, and it would not do anything. It just wouldn't boot it. It would boot one game, turn it off, turn it on again, wouldn't boot another game. It was just had it. But if you put the actual drive in, the actual disc drive, this one works perfect. So, I don't know, I just really didn't like the console. You have to excuse the yellow of this console compared to the white inside. This is a spare console that I gave to my lad a long time ago, so I got it back, and I'm hoping to get a custom case for it. But I'm going to show you what happens anyway, so you can leave it shut. That's my Hanzo box if you're wondering, for the VGA out for the picture on the TV. Hello, me. And I'm hoping the quality comes out alright. It's hard to get a good capture of the actual TV without a capture card, and I don't have one. So I'm just recording it on my new Samsung S7 Edge, so hopefully that's good enough. I don't know why the lines are coming down, but yeah, there's the system like that. I need to clean it up because it says recycle bin, you have to excuse that, but there's a few bits on here that I could remove. But you just go through the list of games, so let's go to... Let's try Cannon Spike. Actually, Capcom versus SNK, let's have a bit of that. Here's the dog rubbing himself against the couch, making loads of noise, so you have to excuse him. And you just go down to the image. I think it boots CDIs, ISO, and GDI files. These are GDI files. Harry, stop. Sorry about that. And then you just press A on it. But what you can do is, if you look at the bottom, it says region free. You can turn that on and off. You can also press X, and it will put it into like a list. So once you press X, you just press, you can eject it. So if you press X on this will be the second game. Then boot the cheat disc first. Then when you get the cheat disc, it says put the new disc in. Just press eject, close it again, and it will boot straight into that one. So yeah, but I'm just going to press A. I don't know why all these lines are coming up on the screen. It's going mad. If I get closer, it seems to go. Problem I had, it kept getting stuck on this, and it was all down to the Dreamcast, and I thought it was the GD-ROM drive, but it turns out it wasn't. So, and with the Hanzo with the scan lines, it looks incredible. I think all the games look great.
Capcom versus SNK.
Great. Just going to quickly go into the game. That'll do. and it loads a lot faster as well. It's really quick at loading, as you'll see. With the hands though, it just looks incredible. So clear. That's on a 60-inch TV. It looks really well. I mean, it looks really clear. I love it. But anyway, if you press eject, like I said, it'll act as if you've ejected the disc and take you back to the menu, and you can mess about with it. That's it really. What I've done is the boards used to be different revisions. The USB header used to be in the back, so you had to cut a hole in the back of the console and have the stick in the back. But I can't obviously put the cable into the console this way because then the door won't shut. So what I've done is I've just made a little hole in the well, there's a hole in the back of the modem. That's why that one's there. And I just wired it in through there and then tucked up inside so it all shuts. But for now, that'll do. I think when I get the actual main console, I'm probably going to make a little hole in the back, just on where the lip joins on, you know, on these bits here, and just make a semicircle hole, just so I can put the wire through and leave it. Because I don't need to take the wire out and keep plugging it in the PC to swap the ROMs. So I can just use another wire while I'm leaving that one in the console permanently. But that's it really, there's not much else to say about it. Once it's working, it's perfect, and it runs really quick, really smooth. The eject works if you solder the switch on. I can't see it being a problem. The only downside is the guy that sells it, I think his name's mnemo, I think that's right, is that he's selling it out of his website, and now he stopped selling it out of his website. So I don't think you can buy it from him anymore. You have to buy it from Stone Age Gamers, which is like $50. I think it's like $50 more. So anyway, I'm going to go back to the PC and talk a bit more. Okay, so I hope that showed you a little bit about what it can do. Basically, you stick the USB, you fill the USB up with the games you want, stick it in the USB header, and just boot any game you want off the list. I think it's compatible with most games. I think it's 100% of the normal games. It boots unreleased games as well. I noticed I wanted to try that. Is it Pierre Solar? I think it's called, but it wouldn't boot that. I think there's a special copy protection on it that only works from the disc, or if you've got a special way of bypassing it, I'm not sure. But there will be patches. He does upload firmware updates which increase compatibility with newer stuff and stuff that doesn't work at the moment, so it will work in the future. There's not much to say about it. I can't really fault it. The problem I had was my Dreamcast, which was this one, this old one. It stopped reading discs, so I thought I might as well get the Usbgdrom drive, keep it alive, and then, you know, mod the case a bit, make it look new. But it just refused to boot anything. As I said, it just, you put a game in, a game in the list, it would boot the first game. Once it booted one game, it would play all the way through. You can complete it if you wanna. The moment you turn it off and turn it back on, it would not boot again. So I just kept emailing the guy saying there's something wrong with this drive. I don't know what's going on. And he just said, try another hard drive. So I bought extra hard drives, and I was going, yeah, try this hard drive. Same again. I bought 3 or 4 different external hard drives, tried them all, nothing, pulling my hair out. And I said to my boy, have you still got the Dreamcast that I'll give you? And he doesn't play it. And he said, he'll have to find it. So he found it eventually, and he gave it to me. And I was sitting here one day, and I was just like, I haven't tried it. I just forgot about it. I thought I'll just leave it. So I just took the lid off, took, you know, I think it's 4 screws in the top of the in the back of the Dreamcast, plugged the drive in, booted up first time, played a game, and I was like, okay, that's what the other one did. Turned it off, turned it on, booted another game. So I was like, okay, so it's going well. Just booted it, I just kept going through loads of games. It just booted every single one flawless. So I felt like an idiot because it was all down to the Dreamcast. But what I can't work out is why this Dreamcast refuses to boot it. I think it's had a hard life, this Dreamcast, but it should still work because it's all together, and with the drive that was in the old console in this one, it boots the discs up fine and plays the games fine off the GD-ROMs, off the actual optical system. So I can't see why it wouldn't work. But anyway, would I recommend getting one? If your console works like mine did, and it works first time with a new console, 100%. If you're having a fuck about with an old console and you put it on, you're trying to play some of the games, and it doesn't work, you're just pulling your hair out, spending more and more money on stuff that you don't need to spend money on. So I've got a load of spare hard drives now. I think I've got like 3 or 4 hard drives that I don't need. So yeah, once it's working, it's all good, and I was sorted out by a guy on YouTube. I won't say his name, just in case he doesn't want to be shouted out. But he sorted me out with the hard... Well, I gave him the money, he bought the hard drive and filled it with a load of games, and I just gave him a drink for doing it. So I've got all the games. I've got all the games on disc anyway, but I just didn't want to back them all up on the PC, then put them back onto the hard drive. So he's done it all for me. So it's, you know, I think it's every PAL game and unreleased game on one hard drive. Anyway, I'm rambling now, so thanks for watching. I hope that gives you a little insight on what it does and if it's worth getting. I'd say it is worth getting. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.